Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is time because it's Friday. And if you have been keeping up, it's the Midwest Anime Show. It's your boy DOC in the building. Let's go. Let's get hyped. Anyway, got Pooh Bear, Professor, Conspiracy. Ladies and gentlemen, roundtable today is gonna be something. We're gonna have to break this up because we're gonna call this a Mr. Conspiracy special. That's what we're gonna call this. We're gonna call this a Mr. Conspiracy special. So let this be part one. You know, if you like it, we'll give you some more. If you don't, blame Mr. Conspiracy. Moving on. Anyway, roundtable today is gonna be about Dragon Ball Z. Some of you folks know a little bit about it. Some of you folks may have not been born. Some people, this might be your first introduction to some anime. So, with that being said, I'm going to let Mr. Conspiracy be the one to start this conversation because if you've been keeping track of this podcast, this man brings it up every episode. Therefore, we have in the IT world, we call SME, a subject matter expert. So we got the real deal, Mr. Conspiracy. It's your world, sir.
So first of all, let me defend myself. Number one, when I bring up Dragon Ball Z in other conversations, it is only for an example. And for the people who are watching this, you should already know what Dragon Ball Z is. You should have seen it. This thing has been around for a very long time, especially if you call yourself an anime fan. You should already know about Dragon Ball Z. I shouldn't really have to go that deep into it. We're only going to talk about Dragon Ball Z in this part one. We're going to worry about Dragon Ball Super, I think, later. Now, if DOC brings up Dragon Ball Super, that means that he's just messing with me. Don't pay him no attention whatsoever. So for me, Dragon Ball Z, first thing I'm gonna say is, and this is gonna be real controversial, and I really want to just let everybody know with the whole trigger warnings and things like that, please calm down, relax, be seated right now before I say this.
Oh, God.
My favorite character in Dragon Ball Z, I don't care which saga, anything, is Vegeta. Plain and simple. That is my dude. There is no one close to him. He is that guy. And that's the end of that when it comes to my favorite character. He is the ultimate character, anti-hero, whatever you want to call him. The way he comes in the Saiyan saga as a villain is phenomenal. I love the Saiyan saga. It is basically a very well-written story when it comes to the saga. It is consistent. This is when Goku comes back from the dead, training with King Kai, and you truly see Goku actually master his martial arts, truly see him understand his key abilities before he becomes the whole Super Saiyan and all that stuff comes into play. You actually see them battle as martial artists, as actual rivals, as actual enemies before they become, I guess you want to call them friends, best friends at the end of the day. But you truly see them as equals fighting amongst each other. But the way that they fought wasn't just a whole bunch of energy beam missiles. Ba-choo, ba-choo, ba-choo. They didn't do all of that. I'm screaming for 1,000 years to actually power up just to beat you. It was an all-out actual battle with them, melee, hand to hand, and it was a phenomenal fight. And just that Saiyan saga, I thought was actually done really well, and it was one of my favorite versions of Goku. Honestly, he was really I actually do care about my friends and my family, and he was late, but it wasn't because he didn't care. It wasn't because he was off just doing, yeah, he actually cared. This is when Goku actually cared. I think this is probably my favorite version of Goku because he actually cared about his family and friends. He actually cared about the people of Earth before everything else. And I'm gonna let somebody else go into that, especially DLC's probably gonna talk a whole lot about that. But I think that version of Goku really brings out the best in Vegeta's arc as a villain, because he took everything serious. There was no joke. There was no plan. There was no such thing as, okay, I want this guy to be my battle buddy later on. He understood that this was a life or death situation. the earth is in trouble, and I am the only person who can stand between him and my family and friends. So that is my favorite saga. That is my favorite version of Goku. That is my favorite character in Vegeta. And I think Dragon Ball Z as a whole just really opens up the world of anime for a lot of people. It really was my very first anime that I fell in love with because I used to watch Dragon Ball when you could only get the movie shipped from Japan. I used to watch that as a kid, and I loved it. And it was just so phenomenal when it came to just that era. And I just grew up watching it Saturday mornings, Sundays, and then it finally came on Tsunami. And this is when you used to be able to actually buy those VHS tapes like 2 weeks in advance.
You giving your age away. You giving your age away, conspiracy.
Hey,
You giving
it's
your age
cool.
away.
You know what? I ain't worried, man. You don't see no gray, baby. You don't see no gray on me, you know. But it was a great time growing up when that stuff was actually coming out, when it wasn't already done, and you wasn't seeing a whole bunch of reruns all over the place, right? So I don't care about the characters as far as who I hate, anything like that. I just love it overall. Period. Dragon Ball Z is just an amazing masterpiece. What you got for me?
So, I think we got to back up a little bit because I mean you jumped a little bit for me. You know what I'm saying? Before we get to that Vegeta saga, we got to talk about that Raditz saga. You got to talk about what set it all off in the motion. You know what I'm saying? Before we jump into Vegeta get there, we got to talk about what I'm saying. First, this is first when Goku was actually trying to be a father. So we gotta throw that in there.
Well, hold on, man. I want to hear what everybody else got to say first, DLC, man, before we start getting crazy.
Oh man, I just got cut off. Pooh Bear, you up? I mean, man, just threw me out a little bit. Go ahead.
That's right.
I mean, let's see. Dragon Ball Z. This was before Naruto, for me, before Bleach, One Piece, all of that. It was so I'm an old head, old school anime watcher. Like we had talked about the last time I was with you guys, with Akira, like I said, stuff like Robot Carnival, like real old school animes. But Dragon Ball, I want to say was kind of like the doorway into like the new stuff that's going on now. I remember I was introduced a good middle school friend. He was but come find out he was using me so he can watch Dragon Ball Z. Then the joke was on him because he had to go to church. Because Dragon Ball would come on Sundays. That's when they started doing it in English, and they would bring it over here to the U.S. And you had to wait every Sunday to watch it. So he was like, "Man, you ever watch Dragon Ball?" I was like, "What the hell is Dragon Ball Z?" He was like, "Man, you gotta watch it." So that's how I got introduced to Dragon Ball Z. This was even before I even heard about Dragon Ball itself, and I had to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, conspiracy, I like that. Yeah, the VHS tapes because we got on the bootleg in the mall, the bootleg Dragon Ball Z, man. Was it Crossroads? Yeah. Trying to get those next series, trying to be ahead of everybody else. I agree. My favorite character is Vegeta. Don't get me wrong. I love Goku. I love all the characters. I can't stand Bulma. If I had to have a hate relationship, it's Bulma. Oh God, I wish he would die.
Wow.
But
Wow.
my man, that's what I said. My man Vegeta, he got that on lock. He said, "Hey, you getting out of pocket? You calm down." Yeah, that's right. She like, okay, I'm gonna calm down. He the only one that can control. That's my boy. Dragon Ball Z is gonna hold a special place in my heart. We'll probably get into it. The professor, what you got for us? The hell?
Man, so Dragon Ball Z, man, one of the OG series. First they just came out, with all the anime movies. Talk about Akira, Vampire, Hunter D, Wicked City, all those types of things. But really didn't get into a series of anime really until Dragon Ball Z. My older brother, I caught him watching some TV early in the morning one time. Slid in, see what was going on, and saw this amazing series called Dragon Ball Z, and I was hooked ever since. And then, like getting those VHS tapes, wait for those to come out, waiting for the new episodes, just getting together with the boys and just watching some DBZ. It was a good time, happy memories. I guess I'm going to be one of the odd men's out. Goku's my guy all day long. You know what I'm saying? He was the hero. He was the best. Vegeta was second best. He was always chasing, Goku. Always knew he was second best. Always striving to get to where Goku was, but that was my guy. Mr. Conspiracy kind of talked about that was his best version of Goku that he liked as far as his character was concerned. And, question I have, for him, maybe even later on in the show is, coming off of Dragon Ball, I think that was more so why Goku was that way. Just coming off of Dragon Ball, just kind of how his character was, in that series. It was just, who he was. And I think they kind of adapted him a little bit more as they kind of went off to the other sagas. Him just wanting to fight, him not really caring about his family, In the original Dragon Ball, we're not talking about that series, but, he was all about saving the earth, fighting for his family, fighting for his friends, all those types of things. So I think that was just kind of more who he was during that series. That the Saiyan saga was more of that Dragon Ball Goku. So yeah, DBZ definitely OG series. Before all those other series that have come out now. Now you get on Crunchyroll, Funimation, all those things. Beforehand you can go to shops, buy DVDs, things like this. Now it was back in the day. You had to go get some bootlegs, VHS tapes, to watch this stuff. And so you had to be a hardcore fan. You couldn't be casual to follow DBZ back in the day when it was first out. So yeah, it's an OG series.
Can I talk now, Mr. Conspiracy? Since I
go ahead, DLC, man. I'm handing it off to you, man. Go ahead, man. I'm giving it to you.
Now we about to get into it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the only thing I was saying was before we jump into the Vegeta saga, you got to talk about the Raditz saga because that's the thing that starts everything in motion. That's all I was gonna say, because before Vegeta even gets there, before we even know what a Saiyan is, because Goku didn't even know who he was. You remember, he lost his memory, so he had no idea of what a Saiyan was. He didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know anything about them, his family. He didn't know anything about that till his brother show up and was like, why isn't the Earth, why haven't you conquered the Earth? What's going on here, And, after that happens and Goku's like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, you're saying. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, He ends up, kidnapping his son. He's like trying to get him to remember to fight, because that's what Saiyans love. And so that, to me, that sets everything in motion for me, because when you talk about Goku as a character, I agree with Professor, is because of him not knowing who he was and him losing his memory because of Master Roshi raising him and with Krillin and all the battles and stuff he went through. Once we get this version of Goku, this is the version of Goku who's been fighting and all this other stuff. He'd actually calmed down, because he had Gohan. So he really wasn't out there doing, the only person during the series who had kept training was Piccolo at that moment in time. It was Piccolo. And so once Raditz shows up to the scene, Piccolo, Goku have to fight. That's, what sets it off, because you like, oh snap, it's getting good, because now we've got the enemy of my enemy is my friend coming together, to bang this dude. And then we find out Gohan is that dude too, So, I mean, it's the setup before we get to Vegeta, which is beautiful to me, because they laid this out like the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the first phase. They laid it out for you, say, hey, these people are coming in a year. You got a year, Goku's dead, Piccolo's training, Gohan, the Z fighters are getting ready with King Kai, not King Kai, Mr. Popo's dude, I can't think of his name. Kami, they train. The Z fighters is training with Kami. Everybody's trying to get ready for it. So that's all I was going to say. As far as the favorite character goes, for me, it alternates between Vegeta and Goku. And I say that because they both do really dumb stuff that really pisses me off watching it, because it's I understand sometimes it's just plot, you know what I'm saying? But first of all, the dude ain't got to be no battle junkie to the level that they battle junkies. Both of them forget their children. The only thing is, I will say is that Vegeta is a better father. He'll at least beat up on his kid. Goku don't even show up. So I gotta say, yeah, he's strong. He at least is trying to motivate his kid. Goku don't even be there, period. He's like, hey, go live your life. You know what I'm saying? Your mama help you or whatever. Like, he deadbeat dad, like like what a deadbeat dad look like. So, like I said, I like them both as characters, and it alternates because there are times when I think Vegeta is like, I remember now, I'm not going to bring it up because technically that would be super, but there's a particular moment that made me proud for your boy Vegeta when his woman got slapped. You know what I'm saying? And your boy he lost his mind. Was like,
my woman.
You ain't going to hit my woman. One of my favorite Vegeta moments, but like I said, that's super. That's not DBZ. That stuff hadn't really happened yet. So, what you got your hand up for, Pooh Bear? What
I
you
just
got?
want to pick. I
Class,
want to
man.
piggyback off of what you said, Doc, about the whole love and relationship between the two. Because I'll be honest, I started off loving. I'm pretty sure everybody did loving Goku, right? And it's, let's just be real. It's all done in writing. Because he was a father. He was caring about it. Even with Dragon first, I'm gonna say Jesus. A lot of episodes. He wanted to protect the earth. He loved his family. Even his wife. He cared about his people. He cared about the earth. He was he wanted to get stronger, but it was as more of as a protector, right? And I like that about Goku because I didn't fall in love with Vegeta, even though when he came, like that was an awesome back and forth between them. One who knew his heritage, the one who didn't. Then he used to hate him. You don't even know about your heritage, you know. But I didn't fall in love with Vegeta until it was after the Frieza saga when he came back right before the androids, and he was trying to go super. So instead of lost, he willed his super. He willed himself to go to super on the moon. When he just I fell in love with Vegeta, his passion. I love Vegeta's passion, but the same token, he gets too passionate about stuff because, like you said, they both do stupid stuff, right? Vegeta at times though he lets his envy of
Pride.
Goku his pride, it takes over too much, and he can't see the bigger picture. He just gets tunnel vision on what he gets real selfish on what he wants to task Goku to hell with everybody else. And we've seen that a couple of times. The Buu saga. I remember you bringing it up one time. We were talking about the Mystic Conspiracy. There's a bunch of times, but then he'll bring it right back. So it's a love and hate relationship with both of them. But Vegeta's my guy, though.
So my question for everybody on the panel, could you tell me your favorite moment with your character? Right? Can you give me like Pooh Bear just gave us a moment. So conspiracy, what's your moment? What's the moment that you said
I'm
this
gonna
right here,
say
this is my dude. This my
I'm
dude.
gonna
What
say
was that
mine.
moment
I
for you?
want to hear from the professor first because his guy's Goku. I want to hear what he got to say.
There really wasn't a moment that he became my guy. He was always my guy. The hero of the story. Saving the earth. The most powerful person. Just kind of story they told about him. He was always my guy. One of the top moments when he became Super Saiyan for the first time after Krillin died in the Frieza saga. That was a huge moment in the series. Him taking over this monster. This destroyer of worlds. This guy's supposed to be uh, unbeatable except for this legend. Nobody had this Super Saiyan was a legend, and so that was the only thing that could beat him. And Goku becoming a legend. That was kind of one of the top moments. As far as Goku was concerned for me. So, but I'd always liked Goku, just his story, his arc, him just being the hero. So it wasn't a singular moment that made him my favorite. It was just kind of his whole story. But that was one of
Okay.
the biggest moments for him.
Okay. Mr. Conspiracy, who?
Two-part answer for Vegeta. When I truly started liking him above everyone else, it wasn't just he became my favorite at this point, but it was when I really started liking him is during the Namek saga
Okay.
because he had truly shown, okay, I want to be the strongest. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, but it wasn't him taking shortcuts. He battled nonstop. It was like almost every other episode he was in a life or death battle, and he would lose and sometimes he would win, but it was just nonstop. And he was just, this is before he became the whole father husband type situation. This is before he became friendly with the Z fighters, and to some extent he was a killer. Period. He was a killer. He knew who he was, and he stayed true to that. He was just a true killer, and he didn't care. It didn't matter. And he did what he had to do, and it was just him, and it wasn't about nobody else. And I loved that. And that's when I truly started liking him doing the dynamic side of it. And that's when I thought that he was the best version of himself, actually being true to who he was. And when I truly fell in love, when it was just it, like he was my dude from then on, is my favorite version of him actually is the within the Majin Buu side. It's the Majin Vegeta. That version of Vegeta is actually my favorite version of him, which is kind of crazy. And the reason why is because all this time leading up to that point, he had stopped being who he was, with uh, being the prince of all saints. Like he still had his pride, but it had kind of calmed down due to the family, and he didn't really mention it much, but Goku was really his brother in arms, basically, around that time. And he kind of lost sight of what he was from the past. And he was really conflicted within himself when Goku came back for that one day to fight in that martial arts tournament, the actual world tournament, because he understood and realized, okay, I still am not strong enough to beat him. I've been training for all these years. This dude has been dead for a long time. His son is now a senior in high school, right? And he's like, I've been training all this time so hard, and I still can't see him. And so he got help from Bibbidi to become Majin Vegeta. And the things that he did, basically, for the people who don't know, Bibbidi is a sorcerer. And he had this special spell that could basically bring any person that had any type of evil in their hearts and their minds under his control, no matter how powerful they were. They did his bidding, they couldn't do anything, and they were at his mercy. He could kill them with just a thought. Vegeta allowed himself to be taken control of enough to exploit the power boost, but he didn't allow his mind to actually be taken over. And he fought Bibbidi every step of the way, saying, you cannot control my mind. You cannot control me at all. And so Bibbidi had no choice but just let him be him. And the reason why he did that is because he wanted to be who he was before he became buddy with Goku and all of them, before he had the family. And that hard passion and determination when he finally turned back into who he used to be back during the Namek saga, when they showed back up in the stage at the World Tournament after fighting Bibbidi's henchmen. And Goku was basically trying to talk to him, and then Goku realized, okay, this ain't going right. I'm more likely going to have to actually fight this dude heads up, and like an actual real battle, life or death type situation. Because Vegeta was just letting it be known, hey man, this is between you and me. I don't care about nobody else. I don't care about the planet. I don't care about what's going on. I don't care about Majin Buu. It don't matter. This is gonna be you and me, and we're gonna put an end to this rivalry right now. And he said one of the greatest lines, I think, in Dragon Ball Z. It's when Gohan and the rest of them chimed in, basically saying that you're better than this. You are not that person anymore. And he basically swiped them out of the way and was like, he said, this does not concern you. This is between me and your circus clown of a father. And then the rest of them chimed in, and they were like, I think it was Piccolo. He said, this is meaningless. What are you doing? We have bigger fish fry. This is meaningless. And I love it. I actually have this recorded. That's how much I love this. Vegeta said, meaningless. This is meaningless? And he said, spend your life ruled by another. Watch your race dwindle to a handful. And tell me what has more meaning than your own strength to be the best you can be. And you're telling me That's meaningless. And when he did that, Goku said, all right, I ain't got no choice. And he said, let's do this. And Goku just stood there for a little bit after he said that. And then Vegeta said something, so I forgot what he said. And then he looked at Goku and was like, how about it? So shall we commence? And that's when Goku was like, I'll fight Vegeta. Just send us somewhere where there's no people. And then that's when they started fighting. That's when I was done. I didn't care what happened after that. I was done.
that was your hook, line, and sinker, huh? Okay.
Yes.
I can tell you, like there are two moments where your boy Vegeta, I give him his props. Like, you know what I'm saying? First one is when they come right before they get the androids show up, and he said, "Does a machine know how to feel fear?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I remember that, yes.
And dude was like, no. And he grabbed him, he holding him, and then he's like, extending his body out and rips his arms down. The dude is trying to run for his life. And Vegeta, heartless, like, does the android feel fear? You know what I'm saying? He just shoot that and blow him up. I was like, this dude right here, and also, part of that is when, him telling the story, he's like, I don't care anymore. I don't care about being the best. I be no Super Saiyan. That moment lead up into that, and that's one of the highest moments. Now, the second hottest moment, you know what I'm saying, and I'm surprised you didn't talk about it, was when he was fighting that speed dude, and he was like 10 times normal gravity. He was like, and he started jumping up and down, and you knew he was about to light that dude up. You know what I'm saying? He said, this didn't even mean anything to me. He's like, maybe 150 times gravity, but 10, I don't even feel it. You know what I'm saying? Your boy went to work. Two of my favorite moments from Vegeta. Now, Goku, I can say, Professor brought it up. Him going after Krillin died, and him going Super Saiyan, looking like he is possessed by the Exorcist. And
Quick moment.
When he flipped and he lose his stuff, you know what I'm saying? Goku go crazy, and it's like, forget all of this stuff. I gotta go beyond this, to go fight Frieza. The whole lead up to that moment, and Vegeta trying to instill him the Saiyan pride, and before he died, like, you don't know what this man did to us. Because you don't remember. You don't know what he did. You don't know what he did to me. He turned me into this. He made me this way. He made me a killer. And he's crying and he's confessing to him. He's trying to put in Goku the seriousness of this moment. This is the dude that killed your daddy. He killed your mama. He killed everybody up. You know what I'm saying? That you would have loved and grew up to. I gotta put this in you so that you can go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And so I give Vegeta, like I said, I'm not always a fan of his, but Vegeta in that moment boosted Goku up for that fight. He was like, listen, you got to. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's like. You don't know what he did to me. I didn't want to be a killer. I didn't want to be like this. This man forced me to do things. He forced my father. He forced our race. And then when he's done with us, he killed us because he feared what we could become. So, like I said, for them, I enjoy both of them as characters. Like I said, they both got their issues, but I enjoy them both, man. So it's a great series, man. I don't think anybody looks at Dragon Ball Z and says this isn't good. I've yet to meet somebody who's not a Dragon Ball Z fan, just because if you're like you, I think y'all said it best. True fans, we just bootlegging DVDs, we going over people's house, we doing whatever we can to get a hold of that yellow cake, right? Back then, that yellow cake, we was trying to get it, no matter what. So, listen, I mean, Dragon Ball Z, man, and I think because it has stood the test of times. It's been around since the 80s, and it's still around. So I think that, regardless of what else we talk about, I can't name you another series that's had the longevity Dragon Ball Z has to where it's been brought back more than once. It never, you know what I'm saying? So that's like, I as much as I give you grief about DBZ because you bring it up, but it is a legit show. You know what I'm saying? It's worth the study session on how to do an anime right. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that. And that's my piece on it. You know what I'm saying? On that as far as DBZ. Because I was just curious. Everybody got their characters. So other than your favorite moment from your character, from your non-favorite characters, did they have moments you enjoyed as well?
Listen, let me tell y'all something. I don't know about Kim, but I'll tell you my favorite villain of the show. And
Go
I don't
ahead.
think he can be top. Frieza. He was the greatest villain to me. Ain't no monkey gonna beat me. With half his body blown off. You can't get no more. You ain't beat me. I'm the strongest. Ain't no monkey gonna beat me. But you damn near halfway dead. He
He was
kept
delusional.
coming. Hold on, he still keeps coming. He still believes that he keeps getting his ass beat, but he keep coming back. No, I'm the strongest. I'm the greatest. Frieza, all time best villain ever.
Okay.
Now my
Okay.
least, Bulma can jump off a ledge. Her character
Wow.
annoys me to no damn end. Like just
We're gonna
uh,
give you a hug. Sound like you need a hug.
she's annoying. Does nothing. She does absolutely nothing but
She built the Dragon
complain,
Ball
get on.
radar. You can't
She's
say
the
she ain't do
catalyst.
nothing. You can't say she ain't do nothing. She built the Dragon Ball radar. So that ain't nothing. They
Yeah,
need
but
that.
then they brought the little thing so they can use them now. Now she's useless.
Scanner, yeah.
I mean, she the glue.
Useless.
She the glue.
Professor, what you got?
Whatever.
What's your favorite non-character moment?
Man. Non-character moment, it was probably Gohan against Cell. They ended that fight, his father kind of channeled his father, and that last beam, that last blast. After that, Gohan was a punk, for the rest of the series. His character became pretty much trash after that. But up to that point, man, that was his apex. It's my personal opinion as far as his character, man. Him
I
taking
agree.
on
The
Cell.
writers they had something special there with Gohan, and they
Yeah,
just dropped the ball. I don't
yeah,
understand that. I don't get it.
Well, they could have done what most anime do and give you a spinoff that's just about Gohan. It's like it was almost like they were afraid Gohan was gonna take over the show. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was almost like that, and he
Mm.
would have. I mean, theoretically, because of the power he had when he
Could
was young.
have,
If he
yeah,
kept
could have.
training,
Right,
yeah,
They can let
that
he
makes
Goku stay
sense.
dead.
yeah
That
they
makes
could have
sense.
he could have taken over, but they were like, nah, we gotta do Goku. So
Yeah.
conspiracy. What's your non favorite character moment? What is it? What is it for you?
Professor, I didn't know he was gonna do that to me too. Mine is definitely Gohan when he fought Cell. I mean, you got a 12-year-old boy, and his father puts the saving the world on his shoulders, right? Tells him to go out there. He's getting beat, and he doesn't really understand how to tap into that hidden ability. Because this is before he ever truly awakened his hidden abilities, and he didn't know how to do that for him to go to the next level, which is what they needed in order to survive, right? And to me, I think that's the greatest transformation, in my opinion. I know Pooh Bear likes Vegeta's first transformation. I know the professor likes Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation. My favorite transformation is when Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2. I love that. Matter of fact, on VHS, I rewind that thing like multiple times when that happened, just because of the soundtrack that they were playing during that time, like the narrating when they did that, and he didn't look like he was having a siege, but it was just like 12-year-old boy with all that pain and suffering, and then finally, after all this time of seeing glimpses of his hidden ability, he finally releases it. He lets it all go, and he becomes Super Saiyan 2 before everyone else. And he looked amazing. Like the artwork that they did for him when they hand drew that was phenomenal. He looked better than what Goku did, I'm sorry, when he went Super Saiyan.
Okay. I'm gonna hit y'all with somebody. I'm surprised nobody brought it up. We gotta talk about Mr. Satan being useless. Now you wanna talk about somebody who's useless, who serves no story point whatsoever? That guy,
That's my
that guy is
God.
useless. Yeah, that guy is comedy relief at his finest because he is
Yeah.
worth. At least Bulma builds stuff. She at least rich. That dude is garbage. Like, I can't tell
Nah, that's
you,
my dude, man.
you know what I'm saying? Mr. Satan is that
Hey,
guy is
nah, man.
that
He
guy is
come with some
trash.
clutch moments, man. He had to,
You know what I'm saying?
do distractions. He come with some clutch moments, man.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
man. He was
that dude,
comic relief.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was
I
comic
love
relief.
him.
That dude is trash. Yeah, that dude is trash. So you know what I'm saying. Now we do got to point something else. Now this is a trigger warning. Let me look around, make sure can't nobody here. This is usually Mr. Conspiracy looking around like this, but in this moment right now, I gotta talk about the racism in Dragon Ball Z. Now nobody want to bring it up.
Man,
Oh,
I ain't trying to
hell,
get
no.
canceled, man.
You
I
know what I'm
ain't,
saying?
you know what I'm
Hey,
saying? I ain't
Mr.
trying to get
What
canceled,
you
nah.
talking about? What?
Mr.
Uh,
Popo, Mr. Popo. We don't
Oh
want to talk
man.
about it.
Dude, we
All
about to
right,
get canceled
you
before we
don't
even
want to talk
start.
about it. You don't want to talk about Mr. Popo? Hey, bad money, bad money. I'm a flip subject. You don't want to talk
You
about
know
Mr.
what? You know
Popo?
what? You want to dive? You want to dive into that, man? You want
Yeah.
to dive
I'm gonna
into
leave that
that?
alone.
No, you don't get us canceled. All right,
No, we can
Yeah,
dive
so
into
yeah.
that
Yeah, man.
racism, brother.
Yeah, Mr. Popo was helpful. You know what I'm saying?
Like
He was team
hey,
oriented, man.
hey,
he look like
let's not do it.
other
You
word.
you you you
Okay.
weighing in, Pooh Bear. Let it go. I had to bring it up for a moment. I'm gonna flip gears on you. So let
We can
me
Cause,
jump
ask
into
cause,
y'all,
racism,
how
brother, if
y'all
you
feel?
want.
Hey,
cause let's
look,
be
I got a
honest,
question
most
for y'all.
anime.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Anyway,
Here go
anyway.
what we did.
I
What
got
we
a
did.
question. Did you guys feel offended when in the English version we had the home for infinite losers? They wouldn't say hell. They wouldn't call it hell. They called it the
Mm-hmm.
home for infinite losers because they were afraid they would go, you know what I'm saying? I
And some
guess
people.
offend some people. Yeah. So they
Yeah.
would call you. You're not going to hell. You're going to home for
Infinite
Yeah.
loser.
and
I
then
thought it
it
was funny.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then when I saw the real version, I was like, what's the home for infinite losers? And then I was like, the Japanese version, they said hell. I said, what?
Yeah,
Why
you
be
going to hell.
what? And right, this America where they say almost all the crazy stuff you think. I'm like, hell and home
This
for
is back in
infinite
the
losers.
day,
Like,
though.
This is what we're
yeah, I know.
censoring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what we were
This is
censoring back then.
this is back in the day, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We had
Today
standards. I
anything
get it.
goes. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had standards. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize the time, man. We moving, boy. Dragon Ball Z is a fun topic for everybody
Before
to
we get
talk
off the topic, I just kind of want to throw this out there. Just thinking about DBZ, you know, we all love it, but you know, when people talk about top anime, like top 10, DBZ really ain't there. People kind of put in their top 25. People kind of think, you know, kind of the new stuff that comes out. They're not really giving DBZ, I think, the respect that it deserves as far as its impact, you know, culturally, you know, what it did for anime, the story overall. But I think it's kind of, you know, it's not on anybody's top 10 anymore. I think people are in the anime community kind of devaluing it, just kind of what I've seen.
Watch
So
what you're
throw that
man.
gonna
out
say
there.
that. Cause it's a
I,
legend.
I'm gonna say this right now, okay? Anybody who don't have Dragon Ball Z in your top 10 is straight up crazy because most of the anime that you looking at is based somewhat because of their character. Let me tell you how big crossover is, okay? Tell me another anime character, okay? I can name one now, and he's the only other person, and this was recent in the last 3 or 4 years. Goku is the only anime character they put up against Superman, West versus East, okay? Until One Punch Man recently they put as an anime character. Goku was the only anime character they ever put up against a comic book character. That's how big his crossover is into the world, right? Dragon Ball Z has such a huge impact. Nobody else has ever been compared to Superman. That ought to tell you something. They like the West versus the East, Superman versus Goku. That's how big. Like ain't nobody else getting that. I'm just. I had to throw that out there since you brought that
I
up,
got you.
Professor.
Yeah.
Like
No,
if you crazy,
I agree, but let's be realistic. It's just how old is Dragon Ball? It
man,
ain't
we
just
already
Dragon
gave it
Ball.
away.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
look, we VHS tapes, man. We talking laser discs, VHS
I
tapes.
listen.
You
I was in middle school. I'm
don't give your age
what,
away.
40.
You're
I'm
doing
about to
too
be
much.
43.
Oh
Okay,
He
man,
said it.
he telling
that's
ages. He
He
telling
said
that's
it.
just
ages.
Yeah. He old.
again. But we're being realistic, right? So a lot of the stuff we grew up, it's starting to phase out now. I mean, you don't hear nobody talking about the Naruto's, the Bleaches, all that stuff. Dragon Ball. I mean, there's still relevant stuff, but not as much. Just because all the other. No, I mean, you gotta think about it, they're pumping anime out like crazy now on a bunch
They
of
are.
different platforms.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Okay. So it is going to it's phasing out, not quickly, but it's phasing out.
It ain't
You
doing
got a
the
new
Yu Yu
generation coming
Hakusho.
up.
It ain't doing the Yu Yu Hakusho on us where they don't even know what it is no more.
Right,
So,
right. We still,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But it's
Man,
kind of like the Michael Jordan effect, right? These new kids, they don't know who the hell Michael. For the most part, they just know I got to get these Jordans, right? But a lot
no.
of them, they're coming up. They don't really know Michael Jordan or like what he did for the game. I mean, they may know his name, but that's about it. But they didn't watch him playing. It's kind of the same thing with Dragon Ball Z. Like you heard of it, you know about Goku because people talk about it. If you're a real anime head, you know. But in this newer generation, like I said, it's kind of just it's fizzling out. Just not quickly, but it's slowly doing it. So
Well,
that's just where we at.
as long as he don't fade away like Yu Yu Hakusho, we good, man. Because my man with them hammer pants on before they was popular, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's
You
gonna be
got
a
the,
long time for
you know what I'm
it
saying?
phases out, but
For that, they'll keep making Dragon Ball Z, so it'll stay relevant, okay?
especially
But
for old heads, people like us, a little bit after, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna be around for a little bit, but
well, we grew up in I call it the golden age of anime. We grew up in the
we grew up with
golden
golden
age
age
when this stuff.
everything.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, we grew up all the good stuff. So yeah, I mean I get it. But you know what else is about to go down? I can hear some things. Can you? Do you hear it?
And now, this world shall know pain.
It's time for Anime Fisticuffs! DLC, who do we have lined up for today?
Man, y'all getting me excited on Friday. Talk about this all day, boy. I was talking conspiracy earlier today. Boy, y'all get me worked up. Anyway, so this is actually going to be a very interesting little fight. So we have Seika from Welcome to the Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist in Another World, and Anos Boldy Gold from Misfit at the Demon Academy. So these are like some interesting characters. I'm gonna throw a little bit up on everybody, so I know a little bit about both of them. I'm a pretty big fan, but basically, I'm gonna start off with Seika. Basically, he was the strongest exorcist in his world, and his power grew to such a level that people feared him. They used his own students to help kill him because he had become so powerful that it wasn't the monsters anymore he had to worry about, it was the humans. And so as he's about to die, he cast a reincarnation spell on himself to be reincarnated later. And he gets reincarnated as a kid in another world named Seika. Seika doesn't have any mana whatsoever. He doesn't have any, but he has spiritual power. And so the story picks up with him trying to figure out what he's going to do with this new life he has and how to change it, make it different from the one where he got assassinated. Now that's for him, Anos Voldigold. So him, it's a different story. So he was the Demon King of Tyranny, and he had been fighting against the heroes for thousands of years. And finally, he got to a point where he got tired of the killing. He got tired of the battles and everything. So him and the hero make a deal that by him sacrificing his body, it will put up walls between the demon world, the human world, I think even the spirit world. It was like all these walls got put up to separate everybody for Pooh Bear, was it 2,000 years? I think it was
2,000 years.
2,000
Yeah.
something. Yeah, 2,000 years. And then he gets reincarnated. But unlike Seika, he reincarnates in his own body, and he grows up quickly within days to become who he's supposed to be. So the first episode, he's only been walking around for a week. And so he goes to this demon academy. This academy was built to basically find him. That's what it was basically designed to find him. But what he finds is that history has been altered. He is no longer the demon king of tyranny for some odd reason. History had been changed, and nobody believes him. Not even his lieutenants who were alive back then know who he is. And so it's about him reclaiming who he is and showing the world that the Demon King is back, and everything that you heard about the Demon King of Tyranny that history has said is wrong. So that's our two people in the fisticuffs today. I don't know who's going to be battling this out. I think it's going to be me and Pooh Bear. I'm assuming, unless conspiracy or the professor want a piece of this and to jump into this. But if not, Pooh Bear, I'm going to let you decide who you want for this grand old battle. Whoever you know the most about, you can take. I take the other one. It don't matter.
I guess I'll take Anos. So I know just a tad more. It's not much.
Okay. So, hey, court's in session. Call your witness. Call your person up, Pooh Bear. If I had the gavel, I'd be hitting it right now. Court's in session.
Like you
Prosecution is leading.
Yeah, he was the original Demon King, of this country. Like you said, him and the hero at that time made a deal. So 2,000 years, he got reincarnated. And the thing is, my man didn't lose a step. He got all his powers, and nobody knew just in how depth, like you said, the history got rewritten. Just how strong this cat is. I think this is gonna be personally a short battle. All his powers are all God tier. Like he doesn't do anything half-assed. Like they're all God tier powers. Like they can kill gods. I do remember his eyes for one. They can. I think they can bend the laws of reality, and they can see fate. Like your fate, like kind of give. Actually, it sounded like almost like a cheat code. He could see. I think just a little bit into the future of outcomes, and that's primarily how he kind of gets ahead in battles. That's one thing. I do remember two of his strongest powers. Well, one power, but his weapon is his demon sword. he almost kind of puts you kind of like One Punch Man, but like on a demon character side. This damn weapon literally cuts through anything. Like it's warp, time, space continuum. It can cut through it. It ignores all laws of reality in any reality. So it could basically, like One Punch, it'll kill you like in one blow. I remember his other power. It's kind of like flames. He conjure up these flames, just like the sword. These flames can destroy the world and other realities if he loses control. That's how strong it is. He has to be mindful control of it at all times. Because, like I said, if it gets out of hand and he can't control it, it'll burn up the world, and it'll not just this world. It'll cross into other realities and destroy them. So that's my from what I can remember of his powers. Of course, he has super strength. He can move fast. He has great battle intellect because he was a demon lord, control of vast armies. So he has good strategy, combat prowess, and he does not give like. So if he cares about you, he cares. If you ain't on his side, he really don't give a damn. So that's my take on Anos. I think this is gonna be a one-sided battle, to be honest with you.
Well, the prosecution can rest this case, man, because I'm going to go ahead and send you home real easy, my boy. Yo says. So let me tell you why you're going to lose this fight. For one thing, and there's one single reason. My dude got reincarnated into a Demon King's body. Plus, he's got all his powers that he had previously before that. And I got to correct you on something you said about Anos. Anos didn't have access to all his abilities in the beginning. Because if you remember, the dude told him if you're reincarnated, typically you only have about half of your demon power when you're reincarnated. So he didn't reincarnate with all his juice. My dude came with all his juice and then some, to a point where now you're talking about God tier. My guy is at the same level because you got to remember he was the strongest, killing every demon Nothing killed him. No demon could kill him. It took a human being, for him to die. And even then, he reincarnated himself. Okay, so he's got two sets of abilities. One that the Demon King possessed, but he also has his exorcist powers, which was primarily used to defeat demons. So he's got all these buffs and curses that are already stacked on top of him. On top of that, so your guy, I know for a fact he can bring people back to life. My guy can too, because if you look at the episode where he went to go get the hero, when he went to go get the hero, he was like, the lady was like, please don't, I'll just tell him, a demon came. He's like, I just bring him back to life. His power level is that it's way up there with him. Now, I agree with you, Pooh Bear, on your dude being able to bend some laws of reality and things like that. But my dude can too. He can bend laws because he's not from that world. So that's world's laws don't apply to him. That's why his spiritual power, why he's able to do the things he can do. I think that this isn't going to be an easy fight for either one of them, because their power levels are. I mean, you could basically say they're both OP characters, right? Because Anos Vodigo never really got hurt. Okay, the closest thing they got to killing him was when he voluntarily let him stab him. Right, when he traded places with the hero, basically, that was about like the closest anybody had come to really killing him. And even then, you couldn't really kill him because he kept reincarnating. So my character, the same thing, right? He cursed himself for reincarnation. So they both can reincarnate infinitely. So how do you kill somebody who can keep coming back? You know what I'm saying? The only way you can kill somebody like that is you would have to have a power that affects the soul, right? You'd have to have something that stops you from reincarnating, which I don't know if your guy does. My guy, I know he does, because he got spiritual power.
His
You know what I'm
eyes,
saying?
like I said, alternate abilities, like he can stop that.
Like I said, this ain't gonna be no one hitter quitter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because now they both are old. They're both veterans of war. They've both been fighting for a long time. I think, but I'll give you the tactics to you. Okay, I'll give you that because I believe Anos had been alive longer because he's a demon. They live longer lives, right? So now we don't really know how long or how old he was when he passed away, or how long he had been living. We don't know, right? We don't know how long he had been in that world, and we don't know if his powers had extended his life. But we do know when he came to this new world, because when them demons showed up, I'm gonna tell you what, when my boy started reading poems to you, he ain't talking sexy to you. That's usually the end of your life. You know what I'm saying? He read the poems to them demons. Them demons thought they was gonna do something, and when that dude looked, he almost pissed himself because he saw all those curses and all those buffs that dude had, and it said Demon King, and they's like, why is he protecting this human? They couldn't understand it because couldn't nobody touch him. And as far as I know, with Seika, ain't nobody laid a hand on him. It doesn't matter what they've done. So, like I said, I don't know, I don't know how we decide who wins this battle or not, because you got two people who are God tier level that can both reincarnate. The laws of the world don't apply to either one of them. You know what I'm saying? So how do you determine who wins this fight? If you got two people, you be like, I'm gonna kill you, and then they come back.
I got this easy.
Okay, conspiracy. We listening.
I'm gonna throw this out there. They gonna be like, oh man, this is crazy, all this stuff. So whatever. I'm gonna give it to my boy Anos. You know what I'm saying? Because all he got to do is throw Saki, whatever that dude's name is.
Seika, you can put some respect on my dude's name. Seika, you put some respect
you know what?
on his
after
name.
After I say this, ain't nobody gonna have respect for him. I would just put this dude in a because of his eyes, because I know his eyes, like he can actually do this. Like it's almost like a genjutsu type situation, but he's really not putting him, like he's actually literally doing this with his eyes, but it's more like an alternate dimension type. Basically put him in a carriage ride, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his weakness. That dude has motion sickness. That's what he carried over. That's what he literally carried over, bro. He has motion sickness.
You know,
but Arnold's voted gold don't know he got motion sickness, though.
Hey man, that wasn't one of your stipulations. That's all I'm saying. I was going by total weakness.
That's not, but you have to know that weakness though. That ain't something he gonna be riding the car. Arnold saw him driving by. I'm a man out the window like this. That ain't something you just see. You know what I'm saying? That ain't something you like. I'm gonna shut everybody up. He get motion sickness. They didn't shut nobody up, bro.
Hey Chase, man, that dude may come ride into the battle in a carriage, get out. You know what I'm saying, and then just throw up. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's why you're not in this battle. Somebody mute his mic. Take him off. Anyway, Professor, let me have a logical person that you talking not. Professor, what you think? I want opinion.
Yeah.
Now, if you think
I don't know anything about Anos, whatever. I've not seen Misfit Academy, Demon King, whatever that is. I just know about the strongest exorcist, so I can't really give you an honest opinion about which character. I gotta read up or watch up on this dude to kind of see, and then maybe come back in the future episode to give my take.
Audience, please, somebody come help me. Please help your boy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody help.
What's his defense abilities?
He ain't got none.
Well, yeah, he
ain't got none.
Now, unless he can stop, like I said, a flame that can destroy the world of multiple realities.
Well, he can create. He's got his Shikai. He's got his stuff that he can create. He can create shields, and then he can also call his demons. But he's also got all those buff stats on him as well, curses and buff against most things. That's why most things can't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. He's got defense. He's got high defense level, just like Anos does. That's what I'm saying. It's not a you're gonna hit me with one. I would say if we take reincarnation off the table and it comes down to who can kill who, I don't know. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I don't know because I can see where Anos has an advantage tactically. I see that, but on the other hand, I see this guy. He's got the Demon King's full abilities, but he also has his exorcism abilities, which are to kill demons. So he might have a spell that can stop somebody like Anos. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, he's not a one-hit quitter. It's not.
Well, Psycho, I think the only thing that I believe this guy working against him, like you said, he was never beaten, right? Like, and he kind of got, dude, he was a little depressed, if I remember correctly, before he, reincarnated.
Well, that's why he did it, because he was depressed.
No, that's right. He got betrayed. But like, there was nobody could see him. Like, and then when he got reincarnated, man, my dude was a little conceited, right? He was just like, I can't nobody touch me. I just kill everybody. And it was kind of like he was a little laxed, even when coming up against, because nobody's powerful enough to see him.
Ain't that how Anos is though? Anos fight the same way. That dude is cocky. He
is cocky, but he goes in. But like I said, he sees everything. He goes in a little cautious though. But he's always, but like you said, but he's a tactician. He's planning.
That dude's
always ahead. Even when his fight, he tells
conspiracy. AD conversation. See your way out. You know what I'm saying?
DOC,
you ain't in this conversation. You ain't in this conversation.
I don't know nothing about the Anos, but Seika, he's a tactician as well. He doesn't go into any situation not prepared for. When he's fighting the demons, they think they got him and they don't. Yeah, so he's shown that he's a tactician as well. So he's battle tested. He's fought demons for a very long time, and so he's always going into a situation planning ahead. When they think they got him, they don't. He's got a defensive spell. He's got a buff. He's got something special for that situation. Just because he is a tactician.
That's what I said. This ain't no easy. You talking about this a one-hitter quitter. This ain't no one-hitter quitter conversation, man. If you compare these dudes, conspiracy, you can go ahead and stop with the looks and stuff. If you got something to say, keep to yourself, sir. Talking to people. Keep to yourself, sir. Keep to yourself. Listen, I'll call it a draw. I'm not gonna say you win. I'll call it a draw. I'm not gonna say you win.
Draw. I'll take a draw.
I'll take that draw. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take a draw. Yeah. Leave it up to the audience, son.
Hey, look, y'all tell us. You know what I'm saying? Who you think?
Yeah.
Anos Vodigo or Seika Lamprug or whatever I used to say the dude's last name. So y'all let us know. But hey, look, that's our fisticuffs today. You know what I'm saying? But we also got to get into the last section of this podcast. Because I know y'all gonna be sad to see us go. We here Fridays for y'all. But
Or not.
We got other people. We got or not. So let's get into what's hot and what's not. You know what I'm saying? So since this was Mr. Conspiracy's day for Dragon Ball, we're gonna let him start us off.
All right, DOC, what's hot and what's not? What's not is you, man, like this whole episode. You know what I'm saying? You trash. That's my what's not right there. Whatever you had to say, everyone needs to just comment that it was horrible. Don't agree with it. Nothing. All right. My what's hot is me, man. My takes, man. This whole episode was phenomenal. So go ahead and put down in the comments that your boy Mr. Conspiracy was on point with everything that he said, even in the fisticuffs, baby. What's hot and what's not? Case in point, I dropped the mic.
Wow. Okay, Pooh Bear. But yeah. Go ahead, Pooh Bear.
Okay, what's not Sailor Moon? Rip off of everything. Power Rangers. Voltron and Sailor Moon.
Wait a minute. You can watch a Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon? Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Wow. What?
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't get through it. Sorry. Just couldn't do it. What's hot right now? Halloween. Me.
Wow.
I'm kind of going through some anime, which I'm gonna do some revisions on hot or not. I'm gonna do like some mid tier stuff. It's like not hot, but it ain't whack. It's just something to watch. So I'm kind of going through some stuff right now. Can't really think of the names. I watch so much damn stuff. But all right, I'll be more prepared for that in the future.
Okay, Professor, what you got? What's hot? What's not for you?
Oh man, what's hot? Reading this this manga. The player that can't level up, man, it's pretty hot. I can't put it down. You know, I've been reading and going through a bunch of manga where it starts off real hot, and gets to a place in the middle where it's just boring, and I just move on to something else. This has just been hot from beginning to where I am now. Just more than halfway through the story. It's this player. It's this manga where this world where portals open up. Of course, monsters come. It's one of those where people have special powers that become players and they save the day. Initially they were heroes and they became players. You got this player who he cannot level up, but he was born with a special ability. So there's just only like a rare amount of players that have a special ability, and so they're all different. So he has a special ability to where he can partner up with things called egos. So they're basically like swords, weapons, things that give him special powers. And so he starts getting these egos and start leveling them up. And so that's how he becomes more powerful. And so it's just kind of telling his story. First, he's trying to make money to take care of his family, take care of his sick mom. And then he just starts becoming a part of, these other guilds and associations to where they're now trying to fight to save the world against the demon world. And so these gates, they didn't realize that they're coming from the demon world. And they're trying to take over the world. And so he's just kind of powering up, leveling up. And, basically, eventually he don't know this yet, but he's going to basically try to save the world. So it's the player that can't level up is pretty hot. What's not hot is anime. Am I the strongest? It's not hot. It's a generic anime about a guy who's reincarnated. He comes, I may even talk about it before, but he's born into this royal family. Royal family, they're supposed to be overpowered. Like the queen, she's like one of the most powerful, magicians in the world. His level cannot be measured. So they don't have a way to measure his level. And so it looks like zero, but his level is actually infinity. And so the thing is zero, so they throw him in the trash. Well, they throw him in the trash. They throw him out, abandon him. He gets adopted by this.
I thought it was mid.
Did not like it, man. It's generic. His little sister doesn't like him at first, and she likes him.
Yeah,
and he starts introduced to anime, things like that. It ain't cool at all, man. It's boring. The story starts off well, but it's boring, man. They had a good premise initially, but then it's boring. Don't get into it. It's not hot.
I agree. It's drawn out. Like I said, for me, it'll be a mid. It's just something I can just watch. There ain't nothing else to watch. I don't think it's all, but it is drawn out. They do take a lot because he's in the school right now, going back and forth with his double. That guy, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he got the wolf lady. Then he got the dragon girl. Yeah, they're taking a long time to build this thing up, but for me, it's a mid. Professor says hot dookie trash. Got it.
It's not hot.
He said, "Hey, for him." He said, "That's hot
Yeah,
garbage on the stick."
Hot dookie
Hey,
trash.
pull up some Dragon
hey,
Ball Z. We're gonna pull up some Dragon Ball Z. No, don't go there.
Now, I'll go back. I'll reclaim my time in the Senate. Reclaim my time. I don't know if I said was hot. Goblin Slayer anime. That's hot. Yeah.
Don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah. That is not PG. It's that's a little hardcore. It's about this guy. Growing up, his village, a fantasy world. His village got ransacked by goblins, and his sister got raped and killed right in front of his eyes. And she hit him. Raped, right? And they kind of show a little bit. Now the manga, they kind of show the raping. The anime, it's kind of implied, just a little bit.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
we are going to get canceled. Oh, we are going to get canceled. We are trying to help you.
Don't show it.
They don't show it. We're gonna cut this part out.
Oh my God! God. Oh my God!
We'll get sorry for that.
We're gonna take two.
Ain't gonna get cussed for that. But yeah, man, I love it.
We're gonna get demonetized for that. You can't say that, man.
Take two.
You're done. Your time's over. You're not reclaiming.
I'm reclaiming time. It's hot. It's not for anybody 18 and under.
Anybody watch Goblin Slayer? We do not promote that anime in any way, shape, or form. We do not promote or agree with anything that is in that anime or anything they say or do.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Pooh Bear. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks.
Y'all.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Okay, so I'm gonna start out with what's not. So I've been reading this manga called "I'm Trapped in This Day for 1,000 Years." Okay. And it's about a guy, basically, titled basically Groundhog Day, and he learns everything he can about, the world and things like that. And you would think that he's developed like a way to become rich or, something like that. And it's very slow. And so it's on my what's not list. I've read all the way up to a point. It's 44 chapters. I've given it as much as I can give it. Now, I'm going to surprise you with what I'm about to say for my what's hot. And I encourage everybody to go read it. You might disagree with what I'm about to say, because after the whole vending machine debacle for what's not, so I actually started reading a manga called Evolution Begins with a Big Tree. And I was like, I ain't got nothing to lose. Let's give it a shot. And it was actually really great. I was actually really surprised at how actually good. As I started reading it, I couldn't put it down, man. It's 112 chapters right now. And so basically what it's about is dude, he dies, gets reincarnated. He's stuck as a tree, but unlike the vending machine, he can actually talk. And he can move his branches, his roots, and everything like that. And basically he comes to the world that he's in, and he's like, oh my God, all these monsters in this forest want to eat me. And it's just about him trying to survive, using his branches to kill. And because you got because he's considered a demon tree. And you got all these demon beasts that are trying to eat him, get stronger. And he's basically like, in the beginning, he's like, I can't move, but I can strengthen my branches. I can get allies, because one thing he has a power is that his energy gives him the ability to make allies real easily, and he can bring people back from dead and heal them. So he's got a really spectacular ability. So he's like, hey, look, I'm going to bring these monsters to my side. We're going to try and live this peaceful life. But it's the humans who keep coming over, bothering him. And he gets to a point where he tells the humans, he's like, him and the humans go to war. They literally go to war, and he kills 50,000 people, okay? To prove his point, leave me alone. And he told them, leave the force on. They keep trying to come bother him. He even kidnapped the whole city. He kidnapped 200,000 people to get the government to leave him alone. It is, you would think it's stupid. Give it a shot. because he can talk. He tells the humans, like, because he used to be a human. He said, I know how they are. And then he can talk to the demon beast. He even gets some humans on his side that were like abandoned by society, and he mutates them. He's basically trying to do what is it? The slime guy. You know how he built his he basically is trying to he's basically trying to do that. He's just trying to live a peaceful life, and they won't leave him alone. And dude, like, he got to the point where he was like, when you tell your subordinates, some of y'all ain't gonna make it back. That's what he told them. Humans were shooting nuclear weapons at him, trying to kill him. And even when they almost killed him, he was like, nah, y'all about to all die. Even the strongest general, he made him blow himself up trying to kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's very good, man. So I thought it was gonna be dumb like the vending machine, but it's actually well written. So if you get a chance, Evolution Begins with a Big Tree. It's actually really good.
So is that what Swift's doing now? Is the case like when you get reincarnated now you just reincarnating into stupid stuff?
I guess so, because if you can be a vending machine, why can't you be a tree? Then somebody get reincarnated as a fish. Somebody get being reincarnated as a fish, a spider.
Right,
yeah,
they run out of ideas, I guess.
Look, who's gonna reincarnate as the spy? I don't know if y'all remember me saying that the dude that's a hot spring who can't do that. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? So I mean, who knows? You know, maybe they like Hollywood. They running out of ideas. So you know what I'm saying? We just coming up with, I'm just waiting for somebody to reincarnate as a cup. Soon as that happened, I tell you, we're done.
Hold on, man. You know what? I could have sworn I ran something across something like that.
Reincarnating.
Don't do it. No. If you got something that's reincarnated cup, don't you bring that to this show, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on us. Don't you do that. I refuse to be part of a show if we talking about somebody reincarnated as a cup. I let it slide with the vending machine because I didn't see it. I let Christopher Robbins tell us all about it. Do not bring me nothing about nobody reincarnating as a cup. I swear I will cut my camera off and walk off this show.
Hey, man, he's at every party, man. Getting it in.
Oh, man.
Not doing this. Listen.
He getting it. You know what I'm saying? He likes the party.
I think I can hear our wrap-up music. I think I can hear our wrap-up music. I'm pretty sure I can hear it. You know
I didn't know cups were a trigger for you.
This is a trigger. I think people being reincarnated is stupid stuff. Boxes, trees. I mean, we're getting out there.
No.
Yeah. Listen, thank y'all for being part of the show. If we got an outro, get me off here. Get me out of here. I don't worry nothing about. Get me out of here. I don't worry nothing about nothing. No, get me out of here. Thank you, Mr. Conspiracy. Wrap this up. Get these guys off of here. This dude says he's at all the parties. I'm done with you, Conspiracy.
Throwing them back.
Christopher Robbins. You know Professor, you can call me. Get these clowns off the show. Get these.
You know what I mean? Getting it in.
I'm just waiting for somebody to turn into a social media site so they can stop sliding into everybody's
DMs. Baby. Mr. Conspiracy.
Thank you. Thank you.